Hi everybody, Gerone Wright here again, and I'm going to do a little different video here. I'm usually taking and drawing images that I see off into the side, and um, I don't want that. I don't want you to think that that's all I'm doing is just drawing images and without having the understanding behind them. Encrypted images in Renaissance artists paintings. I think I established that already, which I'll continue to do, but I'll do it a little bit with a little definition behind everything and define what I am actually seeing here. Um, Let me see where we can go here from this, because I'm actually seeing something else here, to be totally honest with you. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you what's here, because I just seen something. But anyway, this image here became famous behind ancient alien theories. Um, this is called the Miracle of the Snow by Masonlino, and it's from the 14th century. It became famous because ancient alien theorists has us stating that these are UFOs. These objects right here are UFOs, i.e., flying saucers, and they want you to believe that um, this is where it shows you that UFOs interfered and with Jesus and Mary, which doesn't really make any sense. I'm gonna speak on that. I didn't think I was gonna go into that, but since I'm there talking about UFOs, let me tell you how that doesn't make any sense at all. Because first of all, there would not be no intervention of mankind at that point with Jesus and Mary, because man and woman is already created. There would have no need to be no genetic interference at that point. Okay, but so that doesn't really make any sense. And then the second thing that doesn't make any sense is, this would be a full-fledged invasion, and there would be some kind of record of that as well too, with seeing all of these objects. But let me tell you what does make sense. Let me make sense of this image for you, and I can show you where I'm at with my true paranormal experience and encounter, which enables me to read into this. Let me show you what does make sense. These objects right here, all right, which look like clouds, saucers, whatever you want them to be, are objects that are formulated. They're seeds. They're seeds that are created where we think that there are stars being created in space, and that is in nebula gas matter. Okay, these forms with life in them, okay, microbial life, are sent to our world. Okay, they land our world in different areas, and what this picture is stating is that at one point or another, through the evolution of these seeds that were sent to our world, came these forms of life. Now, granted that, there was other forms of life that actually were in these seeds. However, since these people down here, well, Vatican Christianity, they know about what's going on. They put Jesus and Mary up in here to signify that they are the hallmark of the creation of life, which to them they are, for the simple fact that at a historical time in the time of Mary and Jesus, there was a genetic alteration that actually calls for the overcoming of an ancient genetic, which actually Jesus actually used his body as a vessel, and Mary, to actually make happen and occur. Genetic manipulation, which is going on today. Now, okay, well, where's the evidence of this? Okay, let's keep reading into the image here. First of all, I always do like to show you that there are images that are actually in there. First of all, let's go up here to in between Mary and Jesus. Look up in there, on top of, right up on top of here. There's one I outlined, which is actually the image of an ape, a monkey, and then up on top of there's a witch, if you look actually closer. So you can Google this image. Then over here, you'll see faces as well too. One actually looked like it was blotched out. There's one that looks at you. They're multidimensional. Then there's the witch-like woman that looks over at Jesus. They have to be in there, people, because these are the cloud matter images, or celestial beings, that actually calls for the existence of mankind, so they're in womankind, so therefore these images have to be in the shadows at all times. Okay, so look in the shadows, and you will see the witch and the ape image. Okay, and other faces as well too, if you know what they are. Now, I'm going to take and because I see something else here, and I'm going to see if I can pull it up before I end this video. But anyway, now, life forms from space in the forms of seeds enter our world in the form of solidified gas matter, which entered into our world, seeds, okay, i.e. Meteorites, asteroids, blue stars. You get the picture, people, from space, seeds carrying microbial life into our world, with man with an intelligence already, people, that knew how to create mankind. So there's an information, there's a chip, not a chip, but information in this microbial life. They knew what to do with an intelligence life form to create us automatically. And I have evidences of this too, but I'll wait and go into that at another point. But anyway, let's keep going here, people. Now, after these life forms were developed, we're down here now with the Pope. Don't you think this looks odd that the Pope is sitting here? Here's another image I have too. That the Pope is sitting here, and the Pope has a hoe. Now this is called the miracle of the snow, and he's hoeing the snow. Now you don't see no snow coming down or raining down here from anywhere in the clouds, but you do see these genetic seeds, these seeds that I have actually told you. So there is no harvesting of no snow, at least that I don't know of, or you don't know of, right? There's no harvesting. That's what a hoe is used for, harvesting and cultivating. However, if it is used to symbolize that there is a harvesting and cultivation of genetics, wouldn't that be a stronger message, people? Now, I'm telling you that these represent genetics that were sent from space that ultimately created man and womankind. So doesn't it make sense, people, that the Pope would be the cultivator and harvester of these genetics if he knew, in fact, everything that I'm telling you here? Yes. So what is he cultivating? These are genetics. There's only one form of genetics that is actually that of being white, and we know that as being as semen. Okay? Now, all of these people shows you that the people, these are representations of people, of others, of worldly civilizations, okay, which the Pope, through Christianity, the guise of Christianity, comes through these different genetics come through the Catholic Church, and it shows you that these genes are being harvested, poured into the Pope. Shows you the blood, there's the tail, and it shows you that it's being manifested through the members of this Catholic organization. In this case, this is a cardinal. Now, I know what this represents back here, people. You know why? Because I am truly connected to everything that I am actually showing you. I know what the cardinal represents. I know what bloodline he represents, and what genetics is being signified right here in this exchange with the cardinal holding on to the tail end of the Pope's wardrobe. That's another symbolic message, people. All of this information is readable. Pope gathers in variations of genetics. It's genetics coming from one source. Look, multiple different sources, these genetics. Pope gathers them all together, brings them together down in the form of man, into him, sacrificing his body, taking these genetics in, and then sending them back out again to form a different genetic. Now, you probably said there's no way possible that this could possibly ever happen. People, if you understand how it is being done, it is already in myth already. I just did a a decoding of Angkor Wat with the building with the turtle, and it tells how the genetics of the turtle and the builder of Angkor Wat took in exchanged genetics, and how it took over 1,000 years for it to actually happen, but it actually was successful created. People, these people know of these myths. They know what they are doing, in so much as far as playing with these genetics, and it doesn't happen overnight. It is something that is being secured for future purposes. And I can almost tell you, I know the paths of it. I know where it came from. I can tell you where it's going, and I can read into it, just like I just read this to you. Now, I want to show you something else that I just seen here. Okay, I didn't see it until I actually put this sideways. So let me bring out my other marker, if I can find it here. I'm going to show you how this actually works. Now, where's my other marker here? Do I have? I'm going to show you something that I just seen, if I can find a marker, which I now can't. Well, here's a pencil. This is just as good. I'm going to turn this image sideways because I just seen something here. I wonder if I can get it. I don't know if I can. I might let this go because this is going to be a stretch. Let me take a look at it from here first of all. Bear in there with me, people. I'm going to let that go because that's a stretch. I'm going to have to realize that a little bit more. But I can almost see something in. But I'm going to let that go, okay, for now. And I'll get back to you with this if anything else comes up. But I can see, I'm going to let you know what I do see, okay? And I'm going to let it go with that, but I'm going to let you know what I see in 1 second here to share with you, since I actually went through all of that. This is what I can actually see. And where we at here? What I can see is what I just actually had told you about this, about the masses from space. What I can actually see is that from rock, which is in the background, in the backdrop of these mountains, there's a mountain. Up here would be well, in here would be eye. It shows you the life forms that actually evolved from this up here to rock, and then it shows you how it blended in. And here's man. These will be the lips up in here, and then it shows you the face of man, and it shows you blending into the people there. And you see that, people? Shows you the two faces right there. Went from this to that, and then to this. Now I know everything that is in between, and here as well too, in between this and that. But what's being symbolized is these people being symbolized, and the images are being symbolized because they know how we came into existence. These people and these people, well, Jesus and Mary, use their bodies as in sacrifice to take in genetics, multiple genetics, which altered them from the strands of the ancient genetics that came before them, which these people continued to manipulate, maintain, and develop into different strands, which are sent out into the branches of their congregation or their Catholic community church. Now, when you go into there, let's talk about something for a minute. Now, you go in there. Now, if they're taking in genetics, cultivating them, harvesting them, taking them into their body, what do you think that you're getting during communion? What do you think you're getting during communion? wouldn't it be, and they're saying that you're getting the body of Jesus. Now, here is the body of Jesus here, shown in the state of where it came from. I'm showing you that there is just as mentioning of genetics. So, if the genetics of Jesus is still with the church, and they're saying that they're giving you the body of Jesus, and these are genetics, so what it is that you think that you're putting into your mouth when they hand you that offering, that circle piece of bread or whatever that is, and probably nobody even knows what, and make sure that it's placed directly in your mouth, and you drink behind it, and it dissolves into your mouth. What do you think that you're getting? I can tell you, but I'll let you figure it out. Now, I bet you that they would not let you walk out of that church with that piece in your mouth. They asked you to go, if you want to go get it, and doing scientific analysis on it. Now, I'm pretty sure that I said this before, maybe about a year or so ago on my alien UFO site, so they're probably moving away from that now, because I done blew the whistle on this some time ago. So I'm sure that you wouldn't be, that they probably done actually switched it up now and all that, and you wouldn't be able to do anything with it. But if I'm showing you where the body of Jesus, where the genetics of Jesus came from, what's going on with those genetics, okay? You tell me, people, what is actually in those genetics. What is in that offering that they're giving you? If I'm showing you that they're cultivating genetics that came in from space, what do you think that is going in your mouth? People, you have to listen up and see what is happening. I got my red marker here. I'm going to try to draw this in a little bit better for you here. Let me see if I can. I'm upside down again, so bear with me. I'm going to try it. These are in the mountains in the background here. Let me see if I can. Now, there's also other faces that are up in between here. Now, I'm stating that it's showing you that the evolution of these beings from space, from one state. This is probably going to be the best one here that I can actually draw. It shows you how man, how man actually evolved into from space, and it cleverly gives you a face. There are people in the background, actually two, and it shows you the different states. Now there's other stuff that's in there, but I just wanted to draw that upside down, and look how it shows you how it just evolved into man. There, people. Can you see that? See the faces? Look, even here you can actually see the faces. See that in both of them? And then upside down you can actually Google the image, people, and look and see exactly what's happening. It shows you how these life forms from space, and I know the location of them because I done showed them to you already in other videos, people, evolved from this onto our world, and that it's a historical moment and in time of genetic manipulation. There was a process through Mary and Jesus that these genetics were altered, and this is what is being honored, or should I say symbolized, and it shows you through their acts today in the Vatican. It is continued. Okay, genetics are being cultivated from many civilizations of people, or people taken in through the Vatican and sent back out and given back to the people then in a cyclonation of genetics and of creation of mankind. Now, there's only one way that you could be getting that from the Vatican, either directly or indirectly, and indirectly is what you're taking in during communion, which will probably stop now that I'm actually showing you this, or I mentioned it already if it hasn't stopped already. Now, another thing that is troubling about all of this is that these genetics, which I know how are taken in as well too, explains why you have this high number of molestation going on in the Catholic Church, and across the globe with kids. Okay, I'm also alleging that this is going on in with the nuns, that these are lesbian acts being committed through ancient pagan-like worship, and with the men. And then at some point or another, this guy, the Pope, and the nun come together, and it hasn't happened now because I guess our generation of people are too smart for that. These miracle babies pop up after all of these genetics are gathered, cultivated, and grown together. Then the nun and the Pope get together, and this miracle baby is supposed to happen. That's what I think that this is all about, people. Now it hasn't, or in this time, since we cannot let it happen that way, or we are too bright to let it happen that way. The miracle baby comes through the nun giving birth to the baby after her and the Pope comes together, and then perhaps the baby is given to someone else, king, queen, you know what I mean, becomes a royal baby, and these are how this thing is actually continued on. You know what I mean? Because we're too bright of a people to allow that to happen today. We know that a baby is not going to come out of nowhere. So there is no miracle babies like that today. However, they can slip a baby in underneath the radar on us. So this is why, people, this is so unexplainable, but yet I can bring this to you and make it into sense, because this is where the sense lies. The truth is in this, and everything that I'm stating, and everything that I'm bringing here to you. I've just read this. This is something that alien UFO theorists, they just says that they leave it at this just being flying saucers. I explain this, people, from here all the way down to here. I even know the color codes in the clothing that they have on. These color codes in the clothing all represents a symbolic meaning. People, how can I do this if I wasn't genuine? How could I do this? You know? And you have to get me mainstream. We have to get this thing out into the world. And we have to take it from there. I'm going to end this video with that. I'm going to do another video afterwards, and I'm going to read one similar like that. I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to get away from. I'm going to mix it up with my drawings too, because I like showing you, pointing out the things that are there as well too. Look like I actually see something up there too. Actually seeing these, when you turn these images in different angles, you can actually see their faces. That's the reason why I stop every once in a while and all. But I want you to take this in, because this is like the third image that I pulled, and I can do this with many, especially the ones that ancient alien UFO theorists have turned into, being that of flying saucers and all that. I know what they are, so I can actually identify them. All right, but look at this, people. Make sense of that. Pope harvesting. You can't harvest snow. You can't hoe. I mean, you can hoe snow, but look, that doesn't make sense, does it? There's no snow in the clouds. I mean, there's no snow coming down. You don't see no snow. All you see is the ground being white. And these seeds up in space. What is that telling you, people? But except for anything that I just told you. Seeds from space. They manifested in our world. There's genetics that was actually separate genetics that actually were sent into our world via these various varying seeds. Through the Pope, through religion, these seeds are brought together, cultivated, these brought into his body, and then sent back out again. What other sense could you make of that except for what I just told you? You can't. You can't. You can't make nothing up. And then I have so much that I can verify this with and back this up with. You can't. Logic is with me, people. You got to listen up. You got to get me out there. You got to get me mainstream. I'm going to end this video with that. My name is Gerone Wright. This is my Geronification channel. Okay? You can Google my name. Well, you have to spell it right, though, because it's G-E-R-O-N as in Nancy, E. Gerone Wright. And you can Google my name, W-R-I-G-H-T, and all my different locations that come up. I'm playing globally, but I'm going to tell you something, people. I am not actually getting famous fast enough for all of the work that I've actually put into this. I've been doing this for almost 3+ years now, and I just recently found out that this has been with me as long ago as about 15 years ago. I've traced it back on me, and people, I'm telling you that this is something. You know what I mean? It's a great serenity in knowing who you are and where you came from. I'm gonna stop it with that and all, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and just take this in. Thank you. Appreciate you, viewer.